So, hey, I just want to tell everybody, I know it can be frustrating, real estate right now. A lot of you probably have got yourself in some jams, and I'm happy to say that, experience has taught me to avoid a lot of the problems that I saw coming with the interest rates going up, and a lot of my students have also done well, and also as a result of my experience. But it's a wonderful thing when you take moves that take care of you and it pays off. And you can only attribute it to, doing the right things and learning past lessons. And some people, it takes a long time to learn the lessons that happen. But I just got to say, I just got taxes. I've got like 15 tax returns, and as a consequence, I also do all my kids' taxes as well, because my kids are my partners. They've been my partners since the day they were born. Because kids can't own real estate when they're under 18, and that's a good reason for having LLCs. And I tell people, a lot of people I see buying LLCs before they even own a piece of property, total waste of time. That's a scam. Don't be scammed. You need an LLC after you start to develop and create some wealth. But I got to tell you, the powers of mentorship are so strong. And it sounds like I'm patting myself on the back, and I am a little bit. But I've been doing this 42 years, and when you've come from interest rates of 10-12% where I started, and you see us creeping back up there, and you see young YouTubers saying, "Oh, it'll never go that high. Oh, it can't go that high," and they don't know what they're talking about. The idea that you can always count on we'll just say elected folks doing the wrong thing. Their incentives aren't the same as you and I. They're not like a business person. You can be a great businessman, and you'll just want to pull your hair out and shoot yourself in the head when you deal with, city entities, any government entity for that matter, because it's a completely different world. You go there for help, and you stand at the counter and you see these, people are like cows grazing around the cubicles. Everybody, with a bunch of make work to do. And it's unfortunate, and it's going to get worse, because this is what happens when times get tough, and times are getting tough. When interest rates go up, and property values have dropped. That's gratifying. I would say the last, 10 or 12 houses that I've sold in the last 2.5 years, and some of them I bought along the way and sold, they're all worth less than what I've sold them for. And I've been telling everybody, look, if you got something you want to sell within the next year or two, you better get rid of it now, because it ain't going up. And so it's rewarding to look at and see the problems that reverted, getting lines of credit in advance, refinancing variable rate loans to fixed rates. All that stuff comes from experience. And for a long time, I would have told you, stick with the variable rate, because that served me well in 2008, 2009, and when the rates adjusted down, when there had a 2009 crisis, I just got a $3 million loan, and now they dropped, interest rate dropped 3%, so saved me about $90,000 a year right there, which was actually helpful, because I had other things. I had other things that were taking a beating, and that helped offset those losses that were happening at the same time. But anyways, I just want to tell you guys, never give up. Listen, use your head, learn from your mistakes, but never give up. There's always money to be made, good times, bad times. Some of you are stuck holding some property, and I've talked to a lot of you about that. It is what it is. A lot of people, if you can, sometimes you got to just eat it. Sometimes you just throw it away. In other words, they call it hodling, right? People that make a big mistake and pay more for a stock, than it's worth, or they think it's going to go up and they buy it and then it drops, and then all of a sudden they say, I'm hodling, I'm holding for long term. It's not because they want to. It's just they're in denial. They could get rid of it and take that money and put it to better use, but a lot of them just want to just close their eyes and go, I don't want to think about how upside down I am. Well, when I see that kind of thing coming with real estate, I just dump it. I sell it. Even if I had to take a little bit of a loss, I would. I haven't had to take a loss. I've only lost money on one property, and but I would, listen. I just bought 2 houses in the last 6 months, or 3 houses actually, and I sold 2 of them. The one I wanted to keep, but the other 2, I made 30 on one and maybe 60,000, I think, on the other. And if things had kept going how they were going up previously, I would have made 100 on one and probably, damn near 100 on the other. Hey, Paul, good to see you in here, buddy. But if you listen, it's a great time to get in the mentorship. Take the webinar. Get in my webinar. You'll never see a webinar like mine. I take you all over the globe, the USA anyways, to the areas. I show you, the many, many, many properties. I'm talking, I might even show 100 properties that I've purchased in the webinar. I'm showing you proof that I know what I'm doing, that I when I say I've bought apartment buildings and made millions, I mean it, and I'll show you the buildings. When I say I've bought land and made millions, I mean it, and I show you. Houses, I've made millions, I show you. I've made millions on houses. Apartment buildings, done it. These are the kinds of things that you should demand from anybody that claims to have the ability to teach you. And that's why I say it's laughable when I see somebody that's been in real estate for 10 years. And I'm not saying that they couldn't teach you something, but as far as an all-around, kind of an all-inclusive real estate mentor, it ain't going to happen. You have to have lived it. And like, driving here, I've driven by tons of my properties, and even right now I'm driving about 10 houses in this neighborhood. In fact, when I pull up here, I'll show you a couple. And I got one's another good example, actually. So on this street right here, I've bought 4 on the street. Let's see if I can swap it around here. So I bought 4 houses on this street, and what I paid. I own this one here, that one in the foreground. I paid $300 for that about a year ago, and I sold it for $405. In other words, what you should go away from that is that, I buy multi-million-dollar properties, but I still buy a ton of small properties, stuff that most of you watching can afford. Land, I love land. You can make a lot of money on land. Chris, his job and become a full-time investor, and that's with only about $400,000. And we've got other guys in the class that have made over $1 million. So get in the webinar. In other words, get the book. There's the book. Get my book. This is what it cost you $10 or $20 paperback. Wake Up and Stay. Get this book. Okay? Read this, and if it feels good, watch the videos here, but take a look. Get in the webinar. Get in the webinar. I'll talk to you. And if I think you're a good fit, I'll certainly let you know. And I love good people in the group. I want people to be in the group, but some people, if you have to really beg somebody to be in the group, not that I beg anybody to do anything, but when I sometimes I feel strongly. I wish somebody. I'm like, what are you doing? Why aren't you in this? Somebody tells me they got $100,000 or $50,000 or $300,000 or whatever, and they're saving and they're great savers. I'm thinking, what on earth are you doing? You're going broke, person. You guys know I'm very hard on Grant Cardone, Chris Crone. I don't like their crap. Ryan Pineda's either, and I don't see any experience. It out, relevant properties purchase. A lot of times, we made some money. So where's the I in the we? You know what I mean? Negotiated the deal. I'm the one who made the money. Not me. I call it tail wagging. Made a lot of not mistakes. Tomorrow, see you at the meeting. We're starting 9 a.m. tomorrow. People that are watching, new members, 9 a.m. tomorrow. You're welcome to get in. You should have an email already. You should have an email already with a link to it. Yeah, I know it's terrible, Liam. Anyways, have a good evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. And I got a great connection. I got a great studio going now. So things are getting better over there on that end. See y'all later. And Flip Anything USA, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It helps the channel. I'll help you make money. Just tune in and watch the channel and get in that webinar. Get in the free webinar. You'll learn a bunch just in the free webinar. See y'all later. Bye.